What do you think of when you hear all the ways that AI has shown up in our culture, dare I say, dominated in our culture, at least among those of us who are busy creating content? The question I have for you, are you excited about the opportunities it provides as a content creator? Or do you share the fear and trepidation that many have? My biggest concern, for me personally, is that AI could stifle my creativity. Being creative, creating content is energizing to me. I love it. So I want to keep my creative edge. And I believe that you probably share that if you are a content creator. We need to be creative, don't we? So I had an interesting conversation with AI on this topic, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about that in this video. Before I do that, let me introduce myself to you. If we haven't met, I'm Connie Suarez. I'm a content creator. I am a content creator. I'm also a network marketing mentor. My passion is to help network marketers help their teams cross stage. Crossing stage is an important event in the lives of entrepreneurs that are using the network marketing model. And I grew this passion from years of frustration trying to use old school strategies to help my team cross stage. And we all failed miserably, or rather, the strategy failed miserably. It was inauthentic for me, and I believe for them as well. So I was discouraged enough. I was on the verge of quitting, but I looked for a better strategy, and I found one, a much better strategy. And so now my passion is to share that with other network marketers so that they can share them with their teams, and we can achieve that recognition of crossing stage. We aren't doing it for recognition, and yet, as human beings, we thrive on recognition, I believe. Otherwise, why would network marketing companies devote the time that they do to people being recognized at their national events? So let's get into our discussion of how to maintain our human creative edge. AI can do a lot of things, but they always need that prompt from the human. And so I decided to ask AI my question: how can humans ensure that they keep their creative skills strong? I got some surprisingly good answers from AI. So good that I said, those are great tips. Do you have any more? And my AI app spit out 6 more. And so I'm going to share those first 6 with you today, and the second 6 on my next video. And when will my next video be? Now would be a good time, Connie, to suggest that people subscribe to your channel. There's a button that says subscribe. Click on that, and when you do, you'll also get an opportunity to ring a bell to get notifications. And then you'll be sure, and you'll get the next 6 tips on how AI suggests that humans keep their creative edge. The first tip: continual learning. Stay curious and actively seeking to learn more and expand our knowledge. staying curious may feel, being curious may feel like you're being rude. I think sometimes we do feel like that. But if you will insert into your thinking that being curious is just being interested in others, that's all it is. Being interested in others, being interested in our surroundings. We don't want to be a, what was it that my father used to say? A bump on the log, I think it was. And stay continually learning. So, how we do that, AI suggests staying updated with the latest marketing trends, attend workshops. I get a big point because I attended a week and long workshop that there was a lot of learning in it, and there was a lot of repetition of what I'd already learned. And I think that qualifies because I'm growing in those skills that I had repetition on. And so attend workshops and webinars, read books, and now we got lots of choices on how you read books. I think my favorite still is, um, you know, Pages. This is a book that I contributed to. So read books, and you can also have books read to you today. I know some people don't enjoy reading as much as I do, and probably don't even enjoy. I really do like to read a paperback book. I like it to be small enough to fit in my hands, and so then I can lounge and kind of be the couch potato, and yet keep my mind going. So, are you reading books? And what's the last book you read? The last book that I read, I'm not reading a book right now, at least a personal development book. Shame on me. I'm doing a lot of other kinds of things of learning. So anyway, let's keep moving on. Embrace diverse experiences is the next AI tip. If we embrace and engage in diverse experiences, we will broaden our perspective, and that will inspire creativity. So ways we can do that: new hobbies, travel, immerse yourself in different cultures, collaborate with individuals from various backgrounds. And if you live in a metropolitan area, especially, the opportunities are endless. I live in Denver, and it just blows my mind, the different opportunities. Broaden our experiences and be fed with different cultures and different ideas. You don't have to embrace all the ideas that other people have, but you should know about them and be understanding of them and accepting of their right to have those different viewpoints. Practice creative exercises. Now, what does that mean? That sounds a little bit nebulous. Sounds like a good idea, but when I read that, I thought, okay, practice creative exercises. Wonder what that would be. Well, I read further, and here are some of the creative exercises that AI suggested. Brainstorming sessions. Well, I've done that a fair amount of time. Not enough, though. I need to do it more. Mind mapping. I think it's just a different way of brainstorming, but maybe brainstorming can be all over the place, whereas mind mapping, I think, maybe kind of organizes. And I am such a, my thoughts are going in all sorts of directions, and I I go on rabbit trails frequently. So maybe mind mapping is a good thing for me to get involved in. I'll let you know how that works. I might even do something on mind mapping if I ever become a patron of the art. Lots of artistic activities are good to practice our our creativity. Being creative, like painting, writing, and playing musical instrument. Just singing if you don't play a musical instrument. I can't read music well at all, but I can sing, and I love to sing, and I love to hear music, but I also like to paint and write. I've done that in depth in the past. So those are creative ways that we can keep our creative edge. The next pointer that AI suggested was to step outside of your comfort zone. And if you're a network marketer, you've probably gotten tired of hearing that. But here it is again. AI says that's how we can keep our creative edge. Take calculated risks. Try new methods. So we've always done it that way is one of the creativity killers, isn't it? Try a new method, whatever you do. For instance, in the previous thing, I've always brainstormed with a piece of paper, and sometimes on Google Docs or Word, but usually on paper. And that's a good place to do it, I think. But, I upgraded my Zoom account, and it allows me to mind map. And I kind of looked at that once. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to try new methods. The fifth point is embrace collaboration. AI suggests that collaborating with others, especially from different disciplines or backgrounds, can spark fresh ideas and stimulate creativity. I had a job with a newspaper in the past. When I was living down in southeastern Colorado, a friend of mine was the editor of the Ag Journal, AG, Agriculture. And although I grew up introduced to the idea of agriculture, spending some time in the southeastern Colorado, I knew virtually nothing about agriculture. But she had read my newsletter that I put out for the nonprofit, and she asked me to do personal profiles for their periodical. And I said, well, I don't know anything about agriculture. And she said, well, you just have to interview people that have made contributions to agriculture. So I agreed to that, and I got paid 9 cents a word. I put way more time in it than it was worth. But I met really interesting people. I met a legislator from that area of the state, and she had some really interesting ideas that were new to me. And I met a scientist from CU that had done a study on tree rings in southeastern Colorado. And she told me that it showed that the tree rings showed that drought was the norm for southeast Colorado. Having a lot of rain was the exception, not the rule. And so that was interesting. And then I met a livestock breeder, I guess you'd call him. He had these amazingly expensive, I guess, bulls. It would be bulls that that provide the semen for cows that they want to have little calves with. You see how great I am with agriculture. He told me about the incredible amount of money that people pay for that. I got all sorts of ideas. And here I am using stories like that to share with you today. I'll bet you someone out there knows more about agriculture than I do. I beg your pardon and comment if you want to correct anything I've just said. Okay, so embracing collaboration, different people. I love meeting people from other countries, and I love that with my Facebook account, I get introduced to people all over the world. And so use that to grow your creative edge. The last tip that AI gave is for us, and this we've heard this over and over again, but it's true. We need to take breaks and rest. AI tells us to avoid burnout by giving ourselves regular breaks and getting enough rest. If we overwork, then we'll be stressed, and that will stifle our creativity. Take time to unwind. One of the things that I've learned a little bit about, just enough to do it, to know that I need to do it. It's called the Pomodoro method, I think. Pomodoro, and I believe that's the last name of the man that suggested this. It establishes that you work for a period of time, and I believe it's 50 minutes, and then you take, I believe, 10 minutes of rest. And he did enough study that whatever time frame he was talking about may be a really good standard, but maybe we just need to pick a time. The point, I believe, is that you don't work for long periods of time. You work as close to 100% as you can for this frame of time, and then you go someplace else. I have a DOG. If I say it out loud, then I'll get his attention and he'll want to go for a WALK. But you know what? That's one of the best things for me. And when I get through with this, that's exactly what I'm going to do, because it gives me that break. And I have another reason why I need to do that. I have knees that shouldn't sit for extended periods of time. When I get up, they'll be kind of cranky, and they'll be very glad for that WALK. So that's it. 6 really great points. Wouldn't you say that's really great coming from AI? Well, when you think about the fact that humans have trained AI, it shouldn't be too surprising, should it? This is the final reminder from my AI tool. Remember, creativity is a skill that can be nurtured and strengthened over time. Now, my point to this, I want to point out and I want to underline it. Creativity is a skill. We all have it. And if you'd like to prove me wrong, if you're one of those, I know there are lots of people that say, I don't have a creative bone in my body. And well, maybe your bones aren't creative. I don't know that mine are. But up here, we are creative. And I'd love to take that debate with you. So just go ahead and comment, debate creativity skill. And I'll be in touch with you. Now, if you like this content and want to get the next 6 pointers that my AI tool has given us, then you should subscribe if you haven't already to this channel, and click on the bell. Ring that bell and ask for notifications when I post. Until the next time, this is Connie Suarez. I'll be in touch.